Today you're watching the 163 Reasons Why Real Estate Agents Fail YouTube channel. And today's presentation is all about failure reason number 28. You're going to benefit from this presentation today because you're going to discover why real estate agents fail so often and what you can do about it. I'm about to change your life in real estate for the better and provide you with valuable solutions to the challenges that you face in your real estate business every day. These solutions are not available from any other source. Because I sold residential real estate for over 20 years in South Florida, I learned 163 ways in which real estate agents can fail. Now that I'm retired from the real estate business, I want to give back to the business that provided me with such a very good living for so many years. What I'm about to share with you is a true story from my own experiences selling real estate. There's a secret that's being kept from you as a real estate agent. And the reason it is still a secret after all of these years, it'll become obvious to you after listening to this entire presentation. Most real estate agents are not aware that there are two ways to take a listing. For the sake of this presentation, I'm going to tell you about an agent that was in my office, and we'll call him Fred, which of course is not his real name. Fred was your typical real estate agent. He would go on a listing appointment and he would wing it. Just like you, Fred would tell the sellers all the things that his company was going to do to sell the property, to get it sold, and as quickly as possible and at the highest possible price. Now, I'm sure you'll agree, that's all the same stuff that you've heard or said hundreds of times in your real estate career. Am I right? You probably tell sellers the same thing. What you usually say is, well, Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, we're going to sell your house in the least amount of time, at the highest price, and with the least amount of inconvenience to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. But back to my story about Fred. After schmoozing for about 30 minutes with the sellers, Fred would take out his listing agreement and hope that his charm and his overwhelming personality had been enough to get the sellers to sign on the bottom line and give him the listing that he so dearly coveted. Frequently, Fred would get the listing only after having to reduce his commission, and in addition to that, to having the sellers tell him that they would only give him a 3-month or a 4-month listing. How demoralizing. The sellers were in control, and they made all the rules. All poor Fred could do was accept that terms if he really sincerely wanted to get the listing. So admit it, you or some other real estate agent that you know does business in this way. Now, I promised you 2 ways of taking a listing. Fred's way is the first way and the one that I definitely do not recommend. Now listen to my method of taking a listing, which is technique number 2. I always prepared very extensively for each listing presentation because I considered it to be a performance, not a situation in which I just went in and we just talked and whatever came to my mind came out of my mouth. Every listing presentation has to be a performance. I created my own unique word-for-word listing presentation so that I left nothing to chance. I was able to demonstrate to sellers that what I had to offer them was a unique, one-of-a-kind selling system not available from any other agent. All the elements of my marketing system were things that the seller had never heard before from any other real estate agent. And that's the point. Because I didn't give them the usual yada yada like Fred did, I was treated with respect that is due only to a true professional. After demonstrating my uniqueness to the sellers, I was always able to get a 7% commission or higher plus a 6-month full-term listing. If I wanted the listing, I took it. But if the sellers wanted me to reduce my commission, or they wanted to give me a listing for a term that was less than 6 months, I simply walked away. Why? Because I came to a very important realization. I learned to do business on my terms. And this is today the point of today's presentation to you. Doing business on your own terms is what you must learn to do if you want to be a truly successful real estate agent. Because the sellers knew that my unique marketing program wasn't available with any other agent, I was in total control. So now I ask you, which way of taking a listing do you want to pursue in the future? Fred's way or my way of doing business on my own terms? Like I said a few minutes ago, there are 2 ways of taking a listing. Fred's way is the first way. Now you know why real estate agents fail so often and what it is that you can do about it. And what you can do about it is to take listings on your terms. Do your real estate business only on your terms, and you will find that people will give you the courtesy, the respect, and the business that you want. This channel uploads a new video every day, 7 days a week. Until next time, go out and give a home seller your unique, planned, word-for-word listing presentation. Take the listing on your terms, price it right, and get a 7% or higher commission. You can do this.